Before Christmas, festive getaways have been thrown into chaos with the arrival of Storm Pia.
More delays are expected after all lines to and from London Euston were blocked earlier, whilst Eurostar and Eurotunnel services were cancelled by a last-minute walkout in France.
And today is also set to be the busiest day on the roads during the festive period. So I wonder how that's going to look today.
Yeah, let's see what it's like up at Birmingham's New Street Station. And let's cross live to Jack Carson. How are things up there? Very quiet and very cold by the look of it, Jack.
Well, yeah, so far so good when it comes to the travel chaos here in Birmingham, but I'm sure it's not going to stay that way for much longer as we get further into the day and people start to head home for Christmas. Of course, as you were mentioning there, London Euston's going to have a big part to play in whether travel here at Birmingham New Street goes as smoothly as possibly it could be. Of course, the West Coast main line running to London Euston, that's going to be certainly a busy one as people in both directions rather trying to get down further south for Christmas or come maybe back home here in Birmingham. And of course it was Storm Pia that was causing the problems at Euston, damage to overhead wires causing complete cancellations there at that station. And as you mentioned as well in London at King's Cross St Pancras, that Eurostar strike which did and was resolved overnight, so they are saying this morning that they are going to put on extra trains per hour to try and clear that backlog and try and get people home. But of course when you've got the passengers that are already booked on their trains on the Eurostar today, on top of the ones that couldn't travel yesterday trying to get home today, you can see how very quickly that disruption, that congestion of people down there in London can of course increase. Storm Pia will be certainly one to watch around the country. It did cause cancellations on multiple train networks across the country and airports as well, particularly up in Yorkshire. Already this morning the Met Office reporting wind speeds of up to 79 miles an hour in West Yorkshire. The highest wind speed so far as Storm Pia continues to batter part of the country is in the Shetland, 81 miles an hour. So it's still certainly having an effect up there in Scotland. Now down here in Birmingham things are a little bit less on the windy side, but of course it's the road networks around here that are really going to be ones to watch. 13.5 million people expected to travel today. That's around 60% of all the travel that's going to go on around the Christmas period, and it's going to be people possibly breaking down, that causing congestion. The RAC of course urging people to check their cars before their travel, but we'll have more on the travel chaos for you a little bit later on in the programme.
Oh yes, we feel for you, Jack.
Go get yourself a nice cup of tea, we think, Jack. But thank you, really good advice there for people heading out on the roads.
You feel for everybody at the moment. If you're waiting to meet somebody who is going to travel to you on a train, or you are going to travel and see family, it's just awful that it's happening right now.
Really